Hello everyone, my name is Marcus. Today I'd like to speak about the significance of the word Satan and what it means and how it applies in our world as human beings. Satan is a word that's used to describe opposing truth, to describe one that opposes that which is true. Think about that for a second. If you immediately tell yourself that there is no truth, I'm not speaking about being unaware of knowledge that is available. I'm speaking about ignoring known truths that are objective in reality, that are not open to interpretation. I'm speaking about knowledge of the self. It's a truth that has been hidden within ourselves, from ourselves. And let me explain that sin is simply engaging with that you know is untrue. Sin is a delusional state of being. It is the denial of objective truth and reality. The question that many people have is, how has the entire world come to a state of mass delusion, state of sin, state of Satan? That's the big question that a lot of people are asking and have been asking for a while. I would like to share with you what that reason is, and it might not be easy for most people to accept. That reason is that most people have been born into sin. They've been born into a coerced belief system, an indoctrination. And when you look at what a belief system and or indoctrination is, you can see that it doesn't require truth, objective truth and reality in order to be used as an authoritative system, for it to organize itself as an authoritative system. Ultimately, that's all it is, plain and simple. That is the basis of our mass delusion, is the conception and notion of authority. There is no authority vested in man. There is no inherent authority that humans have over anything. Authority is a man-made conception. When you think of authority, you can, even if you're not religious, I'm not religious, I don't believe in religion. However, I do believe in common sense. So when I look at the Genesis story of creation, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, is what the story is telling, is knowledge of authority, of that which is right and wrong, that is not vested in humans and man. That authority is not granted to be enforced by humans. As humans, we have no authority to enforce or coerce each other into doing and acting based on which we perceive to be right and wrong, outside of the objective circumstances that a power greater than us dictates right and wrong to be. The power that created your body, the life force that sustains your being, the life force that was here before you, and the life force that will be here after you, that you do not have control over. It is a higher power than you. You do not have the authority to control another human being against their willful consent. You have no authority to coerce another human being's consent. Some people believe that we each have our own truth, and that is true. Objectively speaking, without a doubt, we all experience objective reality, that which is based in truth. However, we each have our own beliefs as well. And a belief does not have to be consistent with that which is true. That's why it's a separate word from truth. It's called belief. It doesn't have to be true. And a lot of people like to call beliefs truths. And that in itself is sinful, and it is Satan. It is what defines Satan. It is the embodiment of Satan. It is the shadow. It is the dark side of your being. There is no authority vested in man. There is no inherent authority that humans have over anything. Authority is a man-made conception. The problem that we are facing is that people are caught up in belief and or superstition, very much, if not exactly like a cult following, one of those spooky cults that you hear about. Everybody's wrapped up in what they believe in their mind, the content of their belief, and the thoughts that come from their belief, that they tune out that which is true and objective. And that's how authority works. Ultimately, that is the process of authority and conditioned by humans. You and me, we've all been born into it. Pretty sure even people born in the jungle and indigenous tribes have experienced the same psychological disturbance, the same mental disease, the same pandemic that the world has been experiencing for thousands of years. So, there is a difference between what is right and wrong that is not based in personal belief. It's based in personal liberties. It's based in objective reality, the objective reality that we have personal liberties. And when you look at what a personal liberty is, what is a personal liberty, and what is the importance and value of a personal liberty, and when you see those qualities of what a personal liberty is and what create them, inherently you have a natural obligation beyond your personal beliefs and feelings to promote them for yourself and for others in a community. It's a personal liberty to protect yourself from harm. It's a personal liberty to care for yourself in that way. There is no authority that can enforce personal liberty. Personal liberty requires willful consent, not coerced or forced consent. You cannot enforce personal liberties. You may enforce with authority the quality that personal liberties may promote. However, you cannot enforce free will. You cannot enforce freedom. Just like Satan, you can only embody it. You can only embody freedom. You can try to write it down on a piece of paper and pretend that that belief can be enforced. However, that is the embodiment of Satan. That is sin. We are sovereign beings. You can choose freedom, or you can choose enslavement. Every country in the world, every government that has a standing military system tells its citizens that their freedom requires a blood human sacrifice in order for there to be freedom and or privileges. That is a false belief. It is not true. There does not need to be a satanic ritual sacrifice in order for human beings to experience the predominant inherent quality that makes them what they are. As a sovereign being, we are not the arbiters of truth. We are the embodiment of truth. We are not the authority of what is right and wrong. We are the embodiment of what is right and wrong. We are not our feelings and the things that we identify with. We are not enslaved and confined by the beliefs and the content and the thoughts and emotions of the beliefs that we hold in our minds.
Today we have the ability to communicate in mass the way that we've never been able to before. We're able to communicate with ourselves as a species, as a whole, as a collective. We're able to communicate things that have never been communicated before. Cultural differences, knowledge, things that could resolve social problems just by observing from a screen from afar. As a species, what are we going to communicate to ourselves? Are we going to communicate that which is true? Or are we going to communicate to ourselves that which is half true or just untrue? The world right now is under a state of mass delusion. Has been for quite a while. No surprise. However, many are starting to wake up and see things. Certain beliefs and personal freedoms, certain aspects of their perceived reality and their actual reality are breaking down, falling apart, changing in ways that are forcing them to change. New generations are being born, old ones are dying. The power that was in the hands of the older generations are falling into the hands of the younger generations. New belief systems arise, old belief systems come back. These radical beliefs from one end of the divided collective to the next. Yet, the truth still remains. Objective reality stays the same. Truth in itself. The belligerent, confrontational truth that is hidden and occulted by those who claim authority of the truth, the coveting of the truth. There are people who will use truth, obviously, to control other people. It makes sense to hold some truths to be personal and occult from other individuals. Certain privacies make sense. Except hiding those truths to control or coerce other people in a way that is harmful to them and or interferes with their affairs and personal liberties is sinful. And you have no authority to do that as a human being. No human being has that authority. If you are having trouble discerning between the difference of what right and wrong are, and or accepting the reality that there is a right and wrong, you are under mind control. You are suffering a delusion. Science in itself can express right and wrong, that which is objectively true and that which is not. And if you can't come to understanding, understanding of what truth is and what is right and correct compared to what is wrong, if you're having trouble figuring that out, I'm surprised that you've made it this far in the video, honestly, without tuning me out
in any of the content that I've had to say, which shows that there is a spark of truth within you that wants answers. But for now, this is my take on Satan, the word Satan, and sin, and how it applies in all of our lives today. We've been born into government systems that insist our inherent freedoms that we have rely on blood sacrifice. But I think I'm ready to go get my coffee for the morning. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.